What up, YouTube? Hello, hi, we're back here. Another video, another reaction. You already know. I said it, y'all did it. So today we are reacting to the two of the Terrastorian videos because I got advice to not watch the third one because it has a lot of spoilers. And since I'm doing the gameplay through on stream, I don't want to get spoiled. So if you want to join with me on the journey with the Arknights episode, join me on stream at twitch.tv/RayConnect or to watch these reactions live. And even the ones that have copyright on them, so you don't have to deal with muted audios or broken audios. So you join us live, say hi to the chat, recommend me your own videos, or even yell at me if I got something wrong. We love to have y'all here. The support that y'all have been giving me has been insane, and I can't wait to do more of these videos. So the first one we're going to be doing is the only Arknights lore video you need, Newbie Edition Part 1 by Terrastorian. We have permission of the creator to watch these videos as long as we credit them, which we will. The link of this video will be down below this one and the next one. So go to the description, go to their channel, leave it a like, subscribe to them, and say I sent y'all there. So let's get on to the video. Boom.
Welcome to Terrastorian, the channel
Hi, Terrastorian.
Arknights lore. I am Akka, and in this video, I will provide a simple breakdown of the lore of Arknights for both beginner and
Disclaimer, the information provided here was taken from various sources via the official CG art and other assets from the lore book. Oh my god, there's a whole book. While every effort is made to ensure accuracy and reliability, the nature of information sharing means that errors or omissions may occur.
casual players.
Got it.
The lore you'll discuss in this video will be split into several sections, such as terminology, the nations, the various races, and the threats that this world and its inhabitants face. Just a heads up, there are some spoilers ahead. If you prefer to read and play the game
it's minor,
without spoilers,
I don't mind.
then stop. If not, then let's get started. First, let's go over a few terms which are important to the basic understanding of the world of Arknights. Originium is one of the most important words to keep in mind. This crystal is very important to the people of Terra, as it's a power source for technology and powers. However, it's a double-edged sword, as people can get infected with oropathy, a deadly disease. We'll talk about this later. Originium arts. Think of Originium arts as the magic or powers of the Arknights world, allowing users to cast and manipulate different powers. Some races and individuals may have unique Originium arts unique to them. The word infected is a term or labeling
we saw this girl
someone with
on the first episode.
People who are infected with oropathy are treated poorly, often as second-class citizens or worse. Various nations and races treat the infected differently, however. Oropathy is a deadly illness on Terra that comes from active Originium via inhaling it, getting it into your blood, wounds and cuts. Oropathy slowly crystallizes the individual over time until, well, they can no longer breathe or move. Eventually, the individual will die, crumble away, and even combust or explode, spreading the Originium dust crystals around the area of the person's death. If other people are in the area or affected by these, they will most likely become infected, unless they are wearing suitable safety wear. Catastrophes are powerful
this is what I actually want to know.
From earthquakes to storms to blizzards and even to meteor storms. Catastrophes are not only deadly disasters, but it also carries and spreads Originium around the world, making more and more dangerous zones.
And the reason I'm very interested about catastrophes is because we finished the episode
catastrophes,
episode 1 talking about the catastrophe on Ursa's,
which are able to move away. Catastrophe messages are people with skills to calculate and analyze when a catastrophe is coming.
I've not met a single one of these.
Information to cities so they're able to move away in time. Nomadic cities or mobile cities are cities or settlements that are built over giant vehicles, which allows them to move their position on land. They are built to move away from catastrophes. This also functions and allows for easier access with trade with other nations and cities. The world of Arknights is set on Terra, a planet with similar environments from dry and arid deserts to lush rainforests, wondrous plains, and to harsh, frozen tundra. In so many ways, this planet is like our Earth. yet so different. Terra has a supercontinent, and still some parts of Terra haven't even been completely explored. Terra
Really?
is also constantly changing under civilizations, natural disasters, and catastrophes. Let's start with the nations, beginning with Bolivar. It is one of the western nations on Terra, located in the northern part. Despite its thriving economy and culture, Bolivar is currently in political instability.
This already gives me Brazil.
Three major factions,
or South
the
America in general.
Dynasty, the coalition government, and the true Bolivarians. It is also famous for the mobile city dos Soles, known for its neutrality, and the annual event known as the Dos Soles
It's inspired by
Warrior
Mexico.
Championship.
Got it.
Colombia. Colombia is
I
the
wonder what
youngest
Colombia
nation
is.
on Terra, and a melting pot of different cultures and races. Originally a Victorian colony, it declared independence in 1019 and became a very powerful nation.
Colombia is the
in terms of
US?
politics and technological advancements.
I mean, there is
a small
the District of
independent
Columbia, so I'm not
city-state
surprised,
near
but
the
still.
inland sea of Claricide, as one of Colombia's free city-states.
Okay.
The city is famous for its touristic patronage,
Holy shit.
beaches, and
It's
the
Miami.
annual Obsidian Festival, Terra's
It's
most
Miami.
famous music festival.
Or it
Durin
isn't. Yeah, that works.
is a nation
I'm
on
American.
the ground.
I'm
Not much is
American
known about
built.
this location.
So
However, it's home to the Durin.
it's
To the south
crazy.
of
Who would have
Bolivar,
thought?
we arrive at Sargon. This nation is a mixture of lush forests and jungles to hot, dry deserts.
Well, that doesn't
Sargon
make much sense.
is led by two different leaders. One is the Lord Emir, and the Pasha or the Padishah, who is more acknowledged as the ruler. Important to note, the Pasha have some more power over the Lord Emir. Sargon does have a king in the central land. However, not much is known. Sargon also borders the Foan Hotlands to the south.
Oh, and
Minos
Hotlands.
is one of the smaller nations, with a culture revolving on hero cult, mainly the 12 heroes of
Greek,
Hymnoi. Minos was at one point colonized by Sargon between the years 917 and 1042.
Yeah, it reminded me of Minotaur.
While they broke free, they've often been harassed and raided by Sargon forces from time to time. Kajerag is a landlocked, secluded nation which is surrounded by a massive mountain range and protected by the goddess Fermat Kajergranda. I hope I'm saying that right. Its neighboring nations
She has pretty
are
eyes.
Colombia, Victoria, Kazimish. Compared to its bordering nations, Kajerag is still a developing country. Let's venture far north as we go to Sami,
Silver
the
Daddy
furthest
origin?
northern country
I
on
see,
Terra,
I see.
and probably one of the most dangerous, as there are freezing temperatures, blizzards, and
So
something
Siberia?
eldritch, hideous, lurking in those winds that come from beyond.
Or something like
Calypsos.
Blair Witch.
Sami
what?
is home to the Effian race and lesser known ones that are collectively known as the Sami Fjord that have
Dear
a
people.
tribal-like culture. These tribes and clans often clash with the Eldritch dangers. For these reasons, the Sami Fjord are often strict with outsiders to their
Gujarat is king of Switzerland, Himalaya, and
Victoria.
Baltic countries.
one of the most powerful nations, known for its
Victoria.
romanticism and use of steam-powered machinery.
Mex!
Despite being ruled by a monarch, either from the Draco or the Aslan race, Victoria has been passing through a succession crisis for the last 2 decades, as both races.
Victoria's
fight each
okay. I'm
other
getting
for
all
the
these
power.
wrong.
The Dukes of Victoria, on the other hand, have been looking for a chance to seize the throne. Victoria is currently one of the nations involved with the main story.
Londinium?
The majority of Casimir
Okay,
territory
bro.
is dabbed the land
Yeah,
of
I
the
see why
knights,
it's UK.
is covered
Londinium.
by grassland and home to the knightly Kuranta for generations. Despite its chivalrous and
Is that a
heroic
fox person?
origins,
That's a fox person.
however,
Is that
Casimir
Angelina?
has become a nation plagued with greed and corruption, using the title of knights and their tournaments to make money and power.
Casimir's is Poland
Iberia
based.
is a coastal nation by the southern
Iberia?
sea, formerly a
Portugal and
powerful
Spain!
Byzantine empire. They once had the most powerful navy fleets. However, this strong nation was brought down by a devastating and
Hey,
mysterious
I live in the
disaster
Iberian
known
Peninsula,
as
okay?
Profound silence.
Wait, that's the
Potentially
wait,
created by
wait,
worship-
wait, that's unironically the earthquake of 1755. That's literally referencing the big earthquake of 1755 on Lisbon. Hey, being Portuguese gives me info. Let's fucking go.
Disaster, known as the Profound Silence, potentially created by worshippers and threats from the deepest
Okay,
depths
I need to know what characters are from
Iberia
Iberia.
struggled to recover and remain distant from other nations.
So
Following
shocking.
the Profound Silence, Iberia
Based on
has
reality,
established a
for real,
religious
for real.
order known as the Inquisition, which was
Oh,
previously
and
known as the
Crusades.
Church of
Hell
Iberia.
yeah.
The
This is
church was
true
reorganized by St.
Iberian.
Carmen to combat the threats from the sea.
Hell
Laterano
yeah.
is a small nation and sacred homeland to the angelic, trigger-happy race Sancta.
Thank you, Arknights.
Laterano is a nation where the Sancta found a safe homeland away from their sibling race, the Sarkaz. Despite their long-lasting feud and dark past, the Laterano of today is very
I mean, I did see
energetic,
the
open-minded,
angels. Although this,
and known for
not
its
gonna lie,
dessert culture
I looked at this, I
with
thought
the
it was
Pope as
Demacia
their
for a
leader.
second.
Laterano
From League of
is
Legends.
famous for
Although,
its
don't kill me
religious
though.
beliefs, Laterism, and the Laterano Church that acts as the government, dealing with numerous state affairs.
If you know Demacia, you know
Aside
what I
from the
mean.
Sancta, it's also
You gotta
home to
join the
Liberal
Vatican to shoot
population
guns.
due
The
to their
true American
diplomatic
way.
relationship with Iberia in the past. Lefania's neighboring countries are
Yeah, you want to know why the church has a big connection with Portugal? Because we were the ones that reconquered the whole Iberian Peninsula essentially with Spain. Yeah, no wonder they love Iberia.
Victoria, Casimir, Eurus, Syracuse, and Laterano.
German
This
and
country
Austria.
is famous for classical music, use of originium arts, arts-based technology, and musical arts. Lefania was once ruled by the greatest caster in history, the Witch King, who was
Witch
later
King.
overthrown by the twin empresses. It is home to the Caprine race, which makes up majority of the population. A nation south of Yan and Castel, known for its mining operations and industry,
Rimbiliton.
is Rimbiliton. Rimbiliton has one of the three biggest originium veins running underneath it. Due to its constant mining operations,
Basically
the residents
Australia.
of Rimbiliton are
Sick.
very vulnerable
So this is
to
where Avi is
oripathy.
from?
And while they
Avi
are
Buena?
highly discriminatory to the infected, Rimbiliton is known to see its people nothing more than labourers and workforce.
Basically slave labor. Big.
Syracuse, the land of the mafia, and the fangs and howls of the
Syracuse.
Provolone
Okay,
race,
now this is
the Lupo,
Italy.
and some Volpo.
I thought it did.
Syracuse
I thought
has
Vittoria would
influence
be
from
Italy
other
because it means
nations,
victory
such
in
as the
Italian.
religious beliefs
And in
legal
Portuguese.
systems
Yeah,
from
Syracuse is
Laterano,
the Italian one.
technology from Colombia, the Funian love for music, and the main cultural identity is the mafia tradition that comes from the ancient Syracuse and the 12 families that govern the nation. The families
I like the
themselves
music as well.
are under supervision from Signora Cecilia, which
So, of
makes
course
her
she's
the
called
real
Signora.
head of state. The ancient land of the Sarkaz, Kazdel. This worn-torn nation is home to the native Terran race, the Sarkaz, which was built
Wait,
thousands of years
so-
ago by the first Sarkaz Lord of Fiends.
So the Sarkas were the first ever race in Terra? Is that what he means? Because he said the native Terra race. So I'm assuming Sarkas are the original race and then everyone else joined in from somewhere else?
The sad state of Kazdel is due to the nation being perpetual conflict, not only between the Sarkaz and the other nations, but also the infighting among themselves. Kazdel has been destroyed and rebuilt numerous of times in the past.
Sarkas comes from the evolution of
true Kazdel
Kikaz,
today is where the
first race in
Sarkaz
Terra.
can
Got it.
finally have a place called home. Before there were any
Oh, hi,
concepts of
Kalsit.
countries, the Sarkaz back then,
Party
known as the
expenses?
Tizak,
Okay, got it.
considered Kazdel their world. Ursus, the largest nation on Terra, and home to the namesake race, the Ursus, is ruled by an emperor. Ursus is often known to be hostile, xenophobic to
Yeah.
other nations,
Russia.
and known to be horribly cruel to the
But yeah,
infected.
we had
Well, that's
this
a story
explained
for
on the
another
first
day.
episode.
Ursus was once ruled by the Hippogriff Libri, but when they failed to protect the nation, the other dominant race, the Ursus, rose up, rebelled, and took over, and renaming the nation to Ursus. Ursus is one of the nations that are dealing with the collapse of
Although, first of all, very boring naming convention. You call the country by your race name? That's boring. You know? It's like, oh, I'm Caucasian. Here, we are in Caucasian. Boring. Boring
in the
name.
far north.
You know, maybe the Ursus
Higashi is
government
near
should
the
collapse just so
northeast
they
of
get a
Yan.
better name.
Higashi was
My
in a
oppor-
long
just
civil
saying,
war
that's my
between the northern
opinion.
and southern
Oh, hi,
courts.
Japan.
However, when Ursus tried to invade, the two sides joined forces and pushed back the invading force back into Ursus, where it eventually led to volatile peace between and within Higashi's two sides. While north of Higashi is still isolated.
Wait a minute, that feels more like South Korea, North Korea, but or maybe Korea and South Korea and Japan kind of thing, because there's two sides. There's the North and the South. They joined together to defeat an outside force.
From outside nations, the South is far more welcoming. What we do know about Higashi is that it's famous for its founding mythology and love for video games and manga.
Okay, Duncan.
One of the Eastern nation.
Yeah,
Yan,
Korea and Japan for sure. Video games and the manga.
Which is said to be a true Lang.
Yan? Okay, China.
History is that of emperors wanting to overthrow and kill gods. The gods being Fermats. Long ago, an emperor started a war against these gods.
Is this
their refusal to help the people of Yan?
Is this where that guy that we saw last video from Dylan Goose video is from? The guy that is like the best martial artist?
Allying himself with another Fermat known as Sigh. They were eventually victorious and removed these threats, and even
something like that.
split Sigh into living fragments of itself. Yan is another nation, along with Sami and Ursus, that has conflicts with the Eldritch threat.
Not the same guy.
Is the only
Got it.
nation that is under the ocean. Not much is known about it, but it is inhabited by the Aegir race. So supposedly their technology is extremely advanced, but they are facing a threat.
What the hell is that?
Seaborne and potentially
Aegir is Atlantis.
A threatening cult that somewhat
Under the
worships
sea.
There is one more nation to make you
Wait, there was on that Discord chat video that we saw yesterday. There was a guy that looked like a pirate saying, "I did the best for Aegir." Is this where we were talking about?
Of. That is the dead nation of Ghoul. Potentially a technologically advanced nation of its time. Ghoul are famous for their artillery.
Okay, vampire
Ghoul
already.
Also one of the nations that allied
Already
themselves
vampire
with
vibes.
to invade and
France.
destroy Kazdel 200
And they're
years
gone.
ago.
Lamau.
Unlike the other nations,
I mean,
Ghoul
France
later asked
vampires,
help
I mean,
from Kazdel to some extent, and even
Am I too
hiring
far away?
some Kazdelian royal court casters to help them against Lefanian arms. Ghoul was later destroyed in the Battle of the Four Emperors by its former allies and was completely wiped out. There are still some small lingering citizens.
The UK joined to fight the French?
Terra.
Sounds about right.
Ultimately, the nation is completely gone. There are 3 unknown but dangerous locations on Terra. These are the Fernan Hotlands, the Ifni Icefields, and even further north beyond the Ifni Icefields lies an uncharted location, a potentially massive crater within the world of Terra.
I'm assuming this is where the portal is, right?
Come to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this video, found it helpful if you're a player or someone interested in the lore. If you wish to know more about a certain nation, race, or anything within the Arknights universe, don't hesitate to suggest it in the comments below. Thank you for watching.
Okay, I got a bit of information there. Okay, shut up, alarm. Okay, let's go to part 2 so I can keep the streak going.
Welcome
that way
back
I
to
can actually use my
Terrastorian,
brain.
Part 2. I guess this will be where we shall be looking at the known
You should also check out the
races
Seaborn
and
lore
threats
videos
on
as
Terra
well.
in the
Okay.
Arknights universe. If you haven't seen part 1, then do check out our first video. Anyway, let's begin with the races, then threats. There are many beautiful, interesting, and marvelous races on Terra.
Oh yeah, they are.
However, it is important
Especially
to
the
make it
Vulpos.
clear that all races have
Fox
differences. Some races are younger than others. Some enjoy conflicts and wars. Others want peace or to make an impact on the world.
Give me a second.
Enjoy conflicts and
Slight
wars.
thing. This gives me Monogatari vibes.
Others want peace or to make an impact on the world. But interestingly,
For a second there.
a vast
No
majority
bias?
of races
Of course not.
aren't even native to Terra. These races can be categorized as Ancients and Elders races, while other races with Tzak heritage are the native races. To make this easier, we shall break down the races in selections. Ancients, Elders, Tzak, and others.
I won't say why.
An interesting question that normally comes up within Arknights lore is, can an individual have a child with someone from a different race? If so, what race would that child be?
We're doing great. Watching
If 2
Terrastorian.
people from different races do have a child, they will either be one or the other race. A 50-50, let's say.
Oh, no
of what that
hybrids?
child would be. An example would be, if a feline or a libri had a child, it would be either a feline or a libri. It can't be a mixture of the two. However, they will take traits of their parents, either hair color, eye color, for example. Ancient races are the largest category for races. They are also one of the two categories of races that aren't native to Terra.
Gotcha, my kid.
Our first race we should
essentially
speak about is the Aegir, based on aquatic creatures. This race comes from the nation of
I saw the
Aegir.
left girl, I think.
Others can be found on the mainland, such as Iberia or Higashi. The Aegir, though, are somewhat strangers to the races of the land. Aegir also have been in a long conflict with the Seaborn, a background threat that threatens to simulate the rest of the world. Though it seems that the Aegir are one of the reasons
zoom in
for
shot?
the Seaborn to be pushed that way.
What the hell even
A
is
tale
that?
for another time. One outstanding thing about the Aegir is that they are unbelievably arrogant and stuck up. Since the Aegir have more advanced technology compared to any of the races on the land, they tend to look down on them and see themselves as superior.
I did notice that.
Probably one of the most popular and populated race is the felines. This race is based on cats and can be mainly found in Victoria. However,
Of
they
course.
can still be found all over Terra. There are overall 39 operators in Arknights that are playable who are felines. Aslans are thought to be a separate race to felines. However, this is not true. Aslans are felines that have self-appointed themselves to a more nobility race.
So
However,
lions.
they still do rule Sargon with power and eventually moving to Victoria and now fighting over the throne there against the Dracos.
Feline,
Vivori
cats,
are based on
Aslan,
wyverns or lesser dragons.
lion.
This race can be found around in Sargon,
Wyvern,
where they
wyverns,
potentially
okay.
originated from and have ventured to Victoria. Vivori are known to have higher physical strength and endurance than most other races. Alephia, the race with deer-like traits.
Deer people,
This race
Alephia?
can mainly be found in Lefania, but also in the far north in Sami. You can find other Alephia in Victoria and Yan. There is also a potential subrace of Alephia that are based with traits from giraffes.
What?
With equine traits and features, Kuranta are based on
Hey,
horses
horse
and even
donkeys.
zebras. Kurantas are known to be born with fast running and stamina. A vast majority of Kurantas are born in Casimir, the land of the knights. And
Makes sense.
Kurantas, currently the only known race to have two elder race siblings, which we will get on to later. Lupo, the wolves of Terra.
Well,
This race is mainly found
this is gonna be on
within
Iberia.
Syracuse,
No?
but also can be found in other places such as Sargon and
We
Victoria.
literally have Iberian
Bond's
wolves.
family
Okay.
came from
God damn it.
Sargon and ended up in Victoria. Liabri, the second highest most operators in Arknights of 35 operators. Liabri are based on birds. Most Liabri can be found in Colombia, Iberia, and a few in Laterano.
Really? Iberia?
Volpo, having similar traits to Lupo.
Okay.
and sometimes confused with Lupo,
Cinema,
this
peak
is
race.
actually based on foxes. Volpo can be found in Syracuse, Colombia, and Sami.
No! Not in
Archosaurus
Iberia.
having traits from crocodilians. They also have similar pointy ears to others like Sarkaz and Vivori. From what we do know, majority of the males are anthropomorphic, while females aren't.
Of
This
course
could
they're
be
not.
a case of sexual dimorphism. This race comes from Sargon.
Makes sense.
Anura, a race based on frogs. This race came from Sargon.
Oh, frogs.
Across some parts of Terra, including Iberia, where they are treated roughly and used as
Okay, what is up with Iberia and having like whatever like races, man? Frogs and birds? We have wolves, man. We have Iberian wolves. We live by the ocean, man. Give us some fish. I don't know.
We only
I
know
have-
of one Anura, and that is Blue Poison, who is based on the Blue Poison dart frog. A race we don't know much about is the Manticore.
Sea
And
urchins.
despite being based on a mythical creature, this race can be found in small parts of Sargon and are rare, or they just want to keep away from other races.
I seen you.
Caprinae, one of the common
Goats.
races found in Lefania. The Caprinae have treats from goats and sheep. Cultus, the rabbit and the hare
Okay,
race,
rabbits.
mainly found and born in Rembiliton. Cerato is based on
So far,
rhinos
I'm
with
partially
the
disappointed with
classic
Iberia
rhino
races.
horn on their forehead. We know of one Cerito, and that is
Rhinocerons.
Bubbles. If felines are the cat people of Terra, then the Pero are the dog people of Terra.
Dog.
This race can mainly be found in Bolivar. Petram are similar to Anura. There is currently one known character in the game, but Petram are based on tortoises and turtles. Not much is known about
I wonder
this
if
race,
she's a
other than
shielder.
there are small Petram settlements around Terra that
Or a defense
house
character.
excellent
Gee, I
or
wonder.
great craftsmen. However, we do know more about the next race, which is the Pythia, based on
Snakes?
serpents and
Yeah.
having snake-like tails and pointy ears to other races. Pythia, like snakes of the real world, have acute and delicate senses. Pythia are rare or at least uncommon race. Despite this,
One of the
they can be
tankiest
found
character?
all
I
over
see.
Terra. The Forte race have traits from bovines and camelids. The Forte are the main inhabitants of Minos.
Okay, makes
Pullers,
sense.
Another race that only has one known character.
What are
this
you?
race is based on sloths, and that's all
Oh,
we know
sloths?
about them. Anate are race
Is
based
Durin
on otters, weasels, and raccoons.
an honorary sloth?
Rubber are based on hyenas.
Hyenas,
Nothing
okay.
much is known other than they come from Sargon. Savara are a race based on lizards.
Yeah,
and
lizard.
some amphibians like salamanders.
Durin is a Durin. I know she's a
The
Durin,
land
but
of
you know,
Ursus,
she's
like
so
we mentioned,
lazy.
was named after this bear-like
She
race
basically a sloth.
called the Ursus. The Zalak
Okay.
are based on rodents,
Ferrets.
including rats, mice,
Oh, I
and
like the middle one.
squirrels. Zalaks can also be found all over Terra and known to have acute senses. Hailing from beyond Terra, the Elder Races, once mighty rulers who overshadowed their ancient brethren in power, held dominion over the nations. However, their numbers have dwindled.
So now we have
leaving only a
elders. So
handful of
the
nations
the
under
races
their
that
rule.
took the highest
Their
L's.
forms
Is that it?
bear resemblance to mythical creatures of our own world. Draco.
Oh, this.
With traits
Okay, dragons.
based on European dragons in mythology, they are famous for their racial gift over fire manipulation. But they also have increased vitality and strength. Dracos became rulers of Victoria and Tara, a piece of land that became a part of Victoria. Eventually, getting in conflict with the self-appointed Aslans over the throne. Over the years, the Dracos have become rarer and potentially extinct.
Damn, they took the
We
L.
only know of 3 Dracos in Arknights: Reed, her sister Eblana, and Tallulah. Hippogriff Libri. This elder race of Libri is based on hippogriffs in mythology,
Makes sense.
and once ruled
Not
over
quite
the nation that is
making it
now
hard to
called
find out what they are.
Ursus. However, like we mentioned previously, this race failed to protect their land, and the Ursus rebelled. While they already are dethroned, they have kept their nobility status and known to have longer lifespans. Kitsune. This elder race, based on the nine-tailed fox,
Gee,
are
I
found
wonder.
in Higashi. They are said
Of
to be
course.
religious leaders and have some sort of connection to the founding of the nation.
Is there only Suzu?
Kukulkan, based on the Mayan plumed serpent, and an elder race. However,
Okay, that's a wild
after
name, by the way.
loss of their abilities, now they practice an odd ritual, which
For now,
reduces
yes,
their
got it.
lifespan greatly, but gain the collective memory of their ancestors. One
Okay,
thing
she's
about
kind of
this
insane.
race is that we don't know if they are categorized as an elder Pythia or an elder Libri. Kylan, based on the Chilan, a mythical beast from China, is an elder race found in Yan. Not much is known about them.
Makes sense.
Leishi is the only known member of this race so far.
I don't think I've
While
seen
dragons
you.
are the dragons of the west, the Lungs are the dragons from the east. Lungs
Shen!
are found in Yan, and one of the main ruling races
Sorry.
of Yan. The Emperor is a Lung, and the ruling family of Lungs are often known as the True Lung.
I shouldn't yell.
Shen's uncle Wei is, in fact, the older twin brother of the Emperor of Yan. Nightmorza Kurunta, one of the 2 Kurunta
the-
elder races. This elder race of Kurunta once struck fear into the people's hearts of Terra.
Bro has nightmare on
and
their
led a
race name.
conquest across Terra, from around the north of
Are
Terra
these the big
to
baddies,
Sargon, and then
essentially?
back to the north again, where they are hardly seen again. However, there are small clans around in the north, potentially, and in Sargon. Night Morsa are based on folklore called the Nightmare or the Mare, which is seen in Dutch,
The aura
German,
farmers got
Norse,
it.
and English folklores and stories.
So they'll stand
The
like
Night Morsa
on
are
a
meant to have a
doorway with
ritual
light
gift
behind them to
to
then
use
only walk
illusion
away without
arts.
saying anything.
Despite this, they seem to have a sense and culture
This seems
over
samurai-ish.
honor and glory.
I'm
Pegasus
talking at least
Kuranta
about the
is one of
bottom,
the
like,
races
half of
that
their
stood
armor.
up against their sibling race of the Night Morsa and protected
Hey,
their
Pegasus.
homeland Casimir. Pegasus Kuranta are based on the mythological creature the Pegasus.
Mythological, they're so
Pegasus
real. What do you
still
mean?
hold strong respect and force within their land, but slowly their authority has dwindled over time after holding back the Night Morsa. This elder race is famous
Wait,
for its
Neural is
control
a
over
Pegasus
light and
Kuranta? I
illumination
couldn't tell.
Pegasus Kuranta also seem to share a same
It
trait
is.
of light-colored hair, such as white, blonde, and gold. Other potential elder races we may have are an elder race of Rabar, the Tula family, another elder race of Kuranta, the Unicorn Kuranta, an elder race of Pero.
Okay,
the
Cerberus is
Pero.
cool.
The Tizak are one of the native
Okay, you keep
races
saying
of
that one
Terra.
more often. He keeps calling,
Eventually,
he
they
keeps
took the
calling
name
them
the
T-Sac.
Sarkaz after losing their home in a war against
I'm
the
assuming you
foreign
recorded this
races.
video at the same time as the
However,
other one.
There are many different Sarkaz subraces, as well as sibling races, which we shall get into now. The normal Sarkaz are known as Sarkaz. Unlike
This
the
makes
ancient
sense.
Sarkaz subraces, normal Sarkaz are often seen as mixed blood Sarkaz, or not pure-blooded as they were back in ancient Terra. Banshee Sarkaz are unique,
Sorry.
as they are a majority an all-female matriarchy subrace
Well,
of Sarkaz.
Yeah, Banshees
However,
are. I don't
there
think
are
I've ever
male
heard of.
Banshee
Oh, there
Sarkaz,
are?
but they are rare. We only know of one male Banshee, and that is Logos, who happens to be the heir
Oh, I saw
to the
you
Banshee Sarkaz
like in a
throne.
picture.
Banshee Sarkaz have a manipulation of vocal and sound arts, and a connection with death, often seen as the guardians of the dead. Cyclops Sarkaz live in the northern nation on Terra, Sami. Here
Yeah,
they live
the thingy in the
away
middle?
from their violent relatives. Cyclopses moved to Sami after the Cyclops Lord of Fiends was murdered by other Sarkaz. Cyclopses have the ability
The
to
biggest
see
enemy
into
of
the future
Sarkaz are
or
Sarkaz.
have visions to see what may come. It is said that these visions can be pretty accurate. Cyclopses are one of the two Sarkaz subraces that deal with the dangers of the Collapsals. Damasty isn't an entire subrace, but an ancient Sarkaz with the ability to shapeshift and multiply itself into more individuals.
Huh.
Diablo Sarkaz are said to be one of the most powerful Sarkaz subraces, with the
Okay.
ability of strong
Like Infernal?
firearms.
Yeah.
However, this subrace is said to be extinct.
Classic, like,
With
hell
3 pieces
demons,
of Diablo
essentially.
shards left, one shard was fused with Ifrit, a Suvra, now merged with such
This is Ifrit, the demon of
a
fire.
shard, giving her traits and abilities of
Valid.
the fiery
She has a
ancient
gun.
subrace. We recently found out about Joel Sarkaz, and sometimes they're known as Heart Whipper or Mind Sarkaz. Joel
That's a lot of
Sarkaz
keys.
have a unique
She's cute,
art,
though.
which is to do with heart, mind, and emotions. Similar to their vampire relatives, they have to control their hunger,
Flamethrower.
but for emotions instead of blood.
A flamethrower.
Unlike vampires, however, they do have more control or found other ways to get over this. A vast majority of Jarl don't even live in Kazdel. This is because Jarl are very sensitive to emotions, especially negative ones. The leader of the Jarl is known as the Archliar. Currently, we don't know if
Archliar?
they have an Archliar at this moment.
What, expert at
Currently
lying?
know of 2 Joel, Nymph and her sister working as Rhode Island's HR director, who is clouded in mystery.
Although she's super cute. I like her.
Fargors, said to be one of the most
Huh?
ancient of all Sarkaz subraces. This subrace of Sarkaz has control over soil, stone,
But
and
she's also
earth,
cute.
often called the children of the soil and the stone. They have earth arts manipulation, and even said to have conversations or talks with the earth and the soil.
Mudrock.
Unlike the
Wait,
rest of
I
the
saw.
Sarkaz
I keep
subraces,
seeing that name
the Goliath
everywhere.
Sarkaz aren't part of the royal Kazdel
Like Mudrock.
court,
Even though,
and
like, when I was
unknown if they
searching.
have a leader or
Oh,
not.
give me a second. I don't want to pause here. Let's talk about Mudrock a second. Even when I was searching for like emotes to put on from Arknights on 7TV, Mudrock was like one of the main ones. Is she like a fan favorite?
With the earth and the soil. Unlike the rest of the Sarkaz subraces, the Goliath Sarkaz aren't
She's
part
really
of the
popular?
royal
I
Kazdel
see.
court. and unknown if they have a leader or not. But majority of the Sarkaz enemies we do see are apparently Goliaths. Liches are the bookworms of the Sarkaz, and very powerful.
Did they do
bookworms
necromancy?
at that, with the ability to manipulate space and dimensions to a vast degree. Omengard, the cute lich that everyone loves, once said that she could transport the entirety of Lefania
Big head.
if she wanted to.
I think she's overcompensating for something.
We don't know, but if true, an amazing feat. Not only do they have space control arts, but they are also completely immortal. Unlike their other fantasy counterparts, they store their souls or life in a phylactery. Revenants are a
classic lich stuff.
race of Sarkaz. This subrace isn't technically born,
as long as the phylactery is fine, they are always stay alive.
Put their body and soul in the soul furnaces of Kazdel. They can inhabit objects. Nazira are based on ghouls. This subrace of Sarkaz are one of the physically strongest ones on Terra. One of the reasons for their strength comes from their deep cultural aspects of cannibalism and eating their enemies.
Oh damn.
In return, they gain increased strength and power, as well as memories and abilities of those that they have ate. The stronger Nazira often let the weaker
there's so
ones
many
take a
enemies.
bite out of their body, so they basically gain power-ups. Nazira King happens to be one of the oldest characters in-game, is around 7,000 years old.
Dude, I'm struggling with like
potentially older,
7
as he was
enemies.
around with the first Sarkaz. He is often known as the War Incarnate, due to the Nazira becoming far more powerful in wars, due to eating the bodies and powering themselves up. Like the vampire myths of our world, vampire Sarkaz are bloodsuckers. They feed on blood as well as strong blood arts.
A vampire medic, huh?
Similar to the Nazira, they have an ability to empower others with blood blessings. Vampire Sarkaz have a thirst for blood, which is a hunger they have to control,
Or foreign?
making them very fearful.
Oh, I also have seen
even
that
to
name
other
before.
Sarkaz. The Wendigos are a subrace of Sarkaz that are
Okay,
tall
we're just
and
getting
have an
weirder and
exposed
weirder.
skull, thus they wear a mask. Fortunately, there are no longer any pure-blood Wendigo left on Terra, with the last one being Patriot. However, there are still Wendigo Sarkaz in the north of Ursus, led by the Wendigo King fighting the threat of the Collapsals. Just like the Nazira,
Probably the same one from
the
Enfield.
Wendigo are one of the physically strongest and have
I
cannibalism
don't think I've seen
deep
her in
their
Enfield.
culture. We would have to see if there are more Sarkaz subraces in the future. Now, we move on to Sarkaz sibling races. First being the Anasa. This race separated from the Sarkaz
Anasa.
and moved to Yan, distancing themselves from more wars and difficult relatives. While they kept some Sarkaz culture, overall their culture has changed. While we still don't know much about them, they do live in
she's
the
a
wilds
chakra
of
girl.
Yan in tribes. Oni, a group of Sarkaz that broke away
Demon?
from Kazdel.
Not
After
demon, but you know what I mean.
The Sarkaz Lord of Fiends Kolum was killed. They moved to where Higashi is now and became the Oni, resembling some parts of the Sarkaz such as horns, but much more muscular. Sancta. Despite their angelic appearance, this race belongs to the Sarkaz family. However, unlike the Anasa
Angels.
Oni, who diverged from the Sarkaz heritage, they were Sarkaz that accepted a force evolution or change by an outside power known as the Law, gaining
The
light
Lord?
wings and a halo, which gives them 6 like sense. This race has been in a grudging conflict with their cousins, the Sarkaz, who saw the change nothing more as a traitorous move. Fallen Sancta.
So basically, they're not actually angels, but you could technically call them like fallen angels.
Also a thing, which is a Sancta that has broken the rules of the law and starts to grow horns or regain horns. Now we move on to races that we aren't sure where they fit in, or if they fit in at all.
No lord, but law.
Beast
Okay,
lords.
got it.
These entities are
Oh,
talking
that's just a
animals
penguin,
that
bro.
have been around Terra for countless eras.
That's just a
Some
penguin,
of
bro.
them show
That's a
peculiar
giant sheep.
abilities such as immortality or teleportation. Supposedly, most races in Terra have their
Big
own
deer.
Beast Lord representative, but only a handful have ever been shown so far.
Oh, there is like
Burungs.
angel and fallen ones.
This is
Got
a
it.
race that you could describe as living gods or entities. They
That's
have
just a giant eye.
unmanageable powers and abilities, get big as nations, they have an immunity to a
Black
ripathy,
penguin.
even have their own space dimensional travel. However, it is hinted at these beings aren't from Terra, but also unsure when they arrived on the world. There are many Furamats around the world, and we only know of a few. Sami is a Furamat. Kajarander, the protector of Kajarag, the Lifebone, seen in episode 13, despite being dead, still has a conscience. It's noted that they can be killed, but they don't truly die. Another Furamat we know is Surtur.
For a Lifebird, they sure seem to be not alive. Oh,
this
hi,
Furamat
Surtur.
was a rival to Sami. Operators like Ling, Dusk, and their siblings are all fragments of the Furamat known as Sigh. Elf.
Sorry,
Similar
had to do it.
other fantasy elves, they are humanoid, pointy-eared race.
Left one like my
Despite
dead
that
bones.
they
Yup.
may have a long-lived lives, they are
This
very
is
weak
where
to
Mumu, right?
originium and oripathy. Unlike other races, they are very susceptible to oripathy. If an elf catches oripathy, they basically have a month to live.
Oh,
This makes
so
elves
GG.
very rare, but there are some found in Sami. It's indicated that they are descendants of a Furamat. Durin, like the dwarves of
The
mythology
dwarves.
and other fantasy, this small subterranean race lives in the underground nation of Durin. Despite their size, these
Okay.
little ones
We need to talk with the leaders of some of these races. Ursa's living in a nation called Ursa's, the Durin, living in a place called Durin. Even one of the Durin is called Durin. Okay, we need to talk with these people, man. Like, we gotta give them, like, yo, bro, do you want to disband and come back so you can, like, make a new name or something? Like, this is getting absurd.
are excellent miners, crafters, geologists, and very heavy drinkers. Durins are a fairly peaceful race, as they live in an underground utopia.
Basically,
compared to
Durin
the
too
other
lazy to come up
races
with a codename.
above.
She just uses her race.
However,
Valid.
some brave or adventurous or even bored Durin will adventure above ground.
Imagine Durin introducing himself. Hi, I'm Durin. I'm a Durin, and I live in the city of Durin. Codename Durin. Yeah, that's me, Durin. Durin from Durin. Like,
Last but not
I guess it
least,
does keep it
we are
simple
gonna be
and
talking
definitely
about
not
is you.
not hard to
Yes,
forget.
you, the Doctor. The Doctor belongs to a race known as the First Civilization, another non-native race that arrived on Terra more than 13,000 years ago. You
First
could say that
civilization,
they
huh?
used Terra as an experimental ground, while also planning to protect civilization from
Is this
a
the
certain
humans?
threat. Unfortunately, this civilization may be responsible for majority of the greatest threats on Terra.
Captain
This
Major
race
Major, yeah.
Faced a great threat from beyond, leaving you, the Doctor, the last known surviving person of its kind on Terra. It is unknown if there are more out there. Trevor Friston is one of the Doctor's race.
So I
Prior to
wonder
him becoming a preserver.
I wonder if the
We may
administrator is
know
one
of
of these.
more, and that is Priestess. However, we don't know if this individual has good or bad intention. There are many hidden dangers and threats within and out of the supercontinent of Terra, lurking in the sea or even the stars. If not handled carefully, it might result
Is
in
most
the end
likely a
of
clone?
Terra. Here in this section, we will discuss most prominent ones that we know of. Seaborn. They are one of the growing threats in Terra. As their name suggests, they
Like,
came
when
from
it's
the
go-
deep
when
ocean.
it comes to the Doctor, the thing I'm most interested is, first of all, how the fuck did we get our memories lost? Right? Apparently, if we are, it seems like we always are with Amiya, and out of nowhere we're not with Amiya, and we get bonked and lose our memories. That's gonna be an interesting thing to know. I want to know how the fuck does that happen? You know,
plaguing the nations of Aegir underwater and
Babel.
Iberia on
Yeah,
land.
but that's
Their
big
evolution
spoilers,
rates
right?
are extremely fast, enabling them to adapt to all sorts of things and simulate everything around them. Their colonies are connected by a hive mind. A cult known as the Church of
The
Deep
hive
are
mind.
supporting the spread of the Seaborn. Collapsals. They are best described as extra-dimensional entities
So, like the
originating
Void?
from an unknown dimension. They are referred to as demons by other Terrans and possess an ability to corrupt other beings. Collapsals
Demons.
originated from two different places: a mystery gate in the Infinite Ice Fields and the Foehn Hotlands. Simply
Is
knowing
that the
their
so?
name
Is that the
hazardous,
gates?
hence why any form of knowledge about them
Is that the
heavily
gates?
suppressed by the Terran nations. The Observer. We currently know nothing about this godlike being. It is shrouded in mystery, and Terra is currently hidden from its sight. For now. The only thing we do know, it was a reason that the first civilization has gone from Terra, and that they had to build a fake sky to hide Terra from its sight. Another thing we do know is that it wants
another
Terra,
fake sky.
and it's coming whenever the races of Terra and you like it or not. And that is where we come to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this video, found it helpful if you're a player or someone interested in the lore. If you wish to know more about a certain nation, race, or anything within the Arknights universe, don't hesitate to suggest it in the comments below. Thank you for watching.
No, thank you for the video. Cinema. Okay. No.
Welcome back to Terra.
That's spoilers. Okay. I learned a lot. And I learned that even in fiction, Portugal still takes L's. Good to know that. Good to know that no matter what universe, we still continue to take L's. That's appreciated. I love that. Good to know Portuguese representation is still alive and well. You know? But yeah, okay. He mentioned like spoilers on the first video, but there's like not really anything that I would consider spoilers unless showcasing the characters themselves. Meanwhile, Friends, we don't talk about Friends. But like, god damn it. We cannot take a single W in Iberia, huh? It's like apparently like it's this country minority. I'm not sure. I'm not, and people keep saying like France and French people. I don't know who they are. Apparently it's like a nation like northeast of me. I don't know. But yeah, that amazing video by the way. Good stuff by Terrastorian. We'll find most of these stuffs through the episodes as well that I'm currently playing through. So, YouTube, thank you so much for watching with me. Again, go leave a like on Terrastorian's videos, both of these two that we reacted to today. We're going to be reacting to the Iceberg next. So if you're watching this, it's probably already too late. But still, you can go watch the VOD anyways at twitch.tv/reconnect. If you have any suggestions that you want to do them here on the Twitch chat, on the comments, or if you have any other info that you feel like the video may have left it behind, feel free to also leave it on the comments. Although, be careful with spoilers, as I am still playing through the game. I'm very early onto the video game, right? So if you want to join in, watch the story along with me, and be there for the hype moments that I'm sure will be plenty of. Just join us in. But yeah, hope y'all have a good morning, a good evening, a good afternoon, or a good night, whatever that might be. And I'll see you all on the next video. Bye-bye!